Hi ho, John Tapp here. That's what Kermit the Frog says. Hi ho. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate using mooses with Renata's, I don't know if it's Renata or Renata, I never really got that. But with these files Renata sent me, I'm recording the screen here. So I downloaded the files from Box, they're right here. Here's the ProGoder files. First thing in Moose is, I'll send you this, but you got to run Mooses on the other screen. You got to import the code files into Mooses and add a few things. So I did that with file import right here. Already added the sampling, which ProGoder files don't have. In the groups part, I added which ones were count, which ones were duration, because you had a number that were, something started, something stopped. Without solution, offer solution. Okay, so I got the codes fixed up. And the procedure would be to make sure that it's on ProGoder files, converting to seconds if that's appropriate. If you don't need finer grain, that's a good idea. And use a little bit more about the first and last time in a minute, but I'm going to use first and last times in the file for that setting. Okay, then you would drag the files in here that were used with that particular code file. I think, let's see. This one is the DSP code 7. Yeah, that one uses DSP code 7. So you just drag them in here. Let's check this one. Yeah, it uses the code 7. So I'm going to do a couple of them. Then I'm going to do test read and show you some things we're going to have to clean up or deal with. We're going to test read. So it's saying string not found in ProGoder file. The strings have to match the code file. If they don't, when you import it, it can't look it up. So if you change the strings around or you're coding or you change them in the code files, it's a bad idea. So just so you know, they have to match, or you have to fix it so they do match what's in the code file, because what Mooses does is looks up the short code from the long description code. If it can't find it, it can't find it. So I got several of these. The other thing is, in the code files, you can't put commas in the descriptions because it messes up Mooses. Doesn't seem to mess up ProGoder, but it messes up Mooses. So I had to fix one of those. Put dashes in. I'll send you the Mooses files. So it did read that. Let's see. Into my output file. I skipped over that. Okay. There's my output file. I'm going to do this again. So I'm going to clear it. The next thing you have to do after you drag the files in to get the code file set is make an output file. So I just made an output file. And it's cleared out, so you name it whatever you want. This is where the output goes. And then I'll do test read again. And code not found, not found, not found, not found, not found, not found, not found. I haven't totally dug into the not found stuff, but I'm thinking it just can't find it. Okay, so it reads them, and then I like to run a frequencies and duration. Not found, not found, not found. These ones it can't find, it's not going to be able to count either. So It says there's 2 positive feedbacks, and you guys can check this. And there's 19 seconds of starts project positive intent, blah blah. I think if there's any way possible for you to make these shorter before you get going, it would really help. Let's see, 93% of the times that. Okay, so a thing about mooses is you really need to cover the whole time with something, because it's set up to do all the analysis just about in mutually exclusive exhaustive, which means the same code in that group can't be on. That's mutually exclusive. They aren't the same as each other. And exhaustive means you got something covering the whole time. So let's look at this procoder file real quick here. So what it would be best is if you had, if your audio starts at 0, go into 0 and mark something for each one of these levels, like the ones that have duration. It's ends, like it hasn't, it's not on. I would make them all not on. So, I mean, it's more accurate to say, I mean, this is just for mooses. You don't have to use mooses, but mooses is going to constrain you. This might be better to say correct, like something like no counter corrective behavior without solution, and then there is one, and then there isn't one. But it's better to mark the whole time. Exit without saving on this, because then mooses has the whole time. You have what's going on the whole time for each one of these groups, levels, whatever you want to call them. So when we get this stuff cleaned up, we can do inter-observer agreement, and it will check those levels to say what all seconds you guys agreed and what seconds you didn't agree, or the window method for the count codes that are just frequency, and you get the kappa with that, and a little matrix for kappa with those. That's probably enough for right now. There's other analysis it can do in here, sequential. And another thing you might want to consider is this, keeping the time unit files. Let me show you what happens there. I'm gonna run a test read. So put my test reads at the bottom there. So clear the output file. But if you do that, then you get a file that has what's going on every second in there, and that might be useful for you. It has the second as the first row, the header stuff in there, and then the short code for what's happening the whole time. So anyway, if we want to use mooses, I would shorten those codes if we can. I would think exhaustive, cover the time of each level with something, and that's really about it. If those codes won't look up, then we got problems. You can't change them all the time and all that. So I just wanted to do this video to kind of demo what's happening with your setup, and hopefully this will help. Thanks, and talk to you soon. John.